Okay.
So tell us your name
Marcus Robinson.
and when were you born?
August 9th, 1941.
And where were you born?
Hickory.
And tell us how you got to Saluda.
Mother was rich from here, and when Daddy retired, he came back to serve his church. He was here the first time. He was here. You were the old Chestnut Street, where the old Herman Pace house, where what's the name? What's the artist from the corner of Chestnut, and right across the fire department. That was the parsonage when he was here.
Where Bonnie Bardo?
Yeah, Barney Bardo, that was the parsonage at that time when he was here. And then eventually he was on with the Columbus, what they called Columbus Mission. And they took I felt Western North Carolina Conference formed in 1890, and this church was established in 1882, so it wasn't the Western North Carolina Conference at that time. And so, I don't know who the first minister was, but the second minister was T.H. Edwards. He was here in 1884, and they called it Columbus Mission. And I think Gray's Chapel was the oldest church in Polk County, and they go ahead and had Manus Chapel, which no longer exists. That's the second old. Then they had Bethlehem, that Mill Spring. And I think when they built this building, Bethany built one at Mill Spring at the same time. There's a very similar rock. You see the very similar rock out in front. The rock's river rock style looks the same. So whoever L.A. Falls was here at that time, and I think they built both churches at the same time, except at Mill Spring you have to enter, and here you get straight in. On the vestibules out on the sides, when down at Bethlehem, you have to enter on the side. So there was a little bit of different agricultural design, but both of those were built in 1888. I guess they tore the other one they had down at Mill Spring down, whatever the other church was. But there was like I said, there's Gray's Chapel, there's Manus Chapel, and Bethlehem, and that's the only church that had. When the railroad come through, that's what Saluda was 1882, and Tryon was 1883. And I'll put all that into what they call Columbus Mission. And by 1888, it become the Polk Circuit. And so that after the Polk Circuit, when the Western North Carolina Conference, when they formed it in 1890, it became the part of the Polk Circuit. They still part of the Polk Circuit. It was in the Shelby District. What was at that time was known as the Shelby District. They took Greensboro Conference, Charlotte District, Greensboro District, Winston District, Statesville, Salisbury, and Shelby District out of the North Carolina Conference, and took Ashburn, Franklin districts out of the Holston Conference, formed the Western North Carolina Conference.
And so your daddy was a minister here?
Yeah, he's here twice. He was here back in the Depression, 29 to 33. That's where he married Mother. And so he went to Rutherford College, and he come back. They married, and she's a matter of fact. He's going up. You got to marry her. They went up to the courthouse. She finally felt. He said he really still has. He's serious going to the courthouse and getting married. She thought he's serious. When he's serious, she found out he's serious. Maybe I better pray about this. So they went in and she prayed. They went in. The grandfather's out still chopping axe. They didn't even tell him. They put the stuff and went off to Rutherford College. Grandmother, you broke my home up. He wanted to go back to the grandfather that had the axe. He said he wanted back. They said he still had the axe. Had the axe. They just went on, took the clothes and went off back to Rutherford College.
So he was here in
29 to 33,
and then again in,
63 to 68.
so you were born between those two times.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
He had Taylorsville. He had Taylorsville Circuit that time.
so you lived in Taylorsville.
Yeah, we lived in Taylorsville. The hospitals, Richard Baker Hospital's on the hospital that had that area. That's one of Richard Baker Hospital in Hickory. But we was living at Taylorsville at the time. And several places, we had several ministries down that area. A lot of us put within 20 miles of Hickory.
So it's just you and your sister?
Yeah, she was born at Rutherford College. At Rutherford College.
So after, when you moved here, so Marcus, tell us about the church.
You see that over there? You see that where that flue is? That's where the potbelly stove. These wooden pews, these were the original pews. See, some of them are short. They probably put those pews right next to the potbelly stove there. See, that's where the potbelly stove was. See the flue up there?
Right.
Where the flue is?
Yes.
That's a potbelly stove. They probably had a potbelly stove. They had one up the Baptist church too, I remember. The old original Baptist church. There's one up there on it too. And then you see how, look at the chandeliers? See the chandeliers?
Right.
See how it's loose there? They probably had a crank. They could run that chandelier. There wasn't even electricity at that time. They probably ran a crank. There's probably a pulley. They lower the thing down there. They light it with kerosene lamps. That's how they lit the candle. They probably had kerosene lamps in those things. You probably light those chandeliers. They'd probably run it down the floor where they'd light the candles and they'd pull it back up.
So the windows, you want to talk about the windows?
That was in 1934. Like you saw that picture. There wasn't any windows. They put all these stained glass. And they made classrooms out. Probably this whole thing was the wall. That wall thing wasn't there. That wall thing wasn't there. So back 34, they made classrooms out of these two rooms over here. They had to have things closed off completely there. And then when we remodeled, we opened that thing back up and had more work on the church. They could speak it back up and start to lean too much. And that's when
Okay, wait, just a minute.
That's okay. Just keep going.
Okay, so they had Sunday school back here?
these two rooms, they made up Sunday school. They didn't put the education part into that 1950. So these were made Sunday school rooms out of those. That's a nursery now, and they just put those pews back there where people sit back in there.
And those were the original pews?
Yeah, that one too. Some of them took some of the old pews. Some people when they brought these. And the lady put tile on it, and the lady they put this carpet. They had a red carpet first, and they put this one later on in the church later on. And that was, I guess you'd call that kind of a slave gallery. See, that this is not. Used to have steps that went right through here. I guess you want to go up there and look at the belfry up there. If you want to go up there and just go up the steps and look at it.
That doesn't look too
Well,
scary.
it's somewhere that maybe like lamps, and then they bring it back up, and they get through, they lower it back down.
Hope they haven't burned it.
Yeah. They used kerosene lamps with it, they hooked it up with electricity.
Okay, so let's go back up here. We're going.
And this thing, see what the community things
Who
are.
was Cassius?
Cassidy, he was the one former minister here.
Cassidy, was he white or black?
He's white.
Cassidy, that's one of the
Tom
names.
Cassidy. Tom
That's
Cassidy.
one of the names.
Tom Cassidy was.
What was his wife's name?
I don't know if they lived out where they had those parcels down here. They lived in that thing. Well, he was here 5 years.
That's one of the names that I come
Tom
across.
Cassidy, that was his name. He's down in nursing home now.
What was the first name?
Tom.
Tom Cassidy.
Tom.
Well, you do know what your daddy's name was.
Yeah, Othello.
No, it was the Mad Kisser.
Yeah.
He was wonderful. He used to run and go meet with, what did he do?
Okay, one, we don't have an external mic, so if you're close to the camera, your voice is gonna pick up.
Why am I sitting here and not?
Well, just so you can write and sit,
Okay,
and then,
Okay.
But Joseph,
No.
the Mad Kisser, he would, when he saw a child on the street,
Yeah.
he'd go like this, and Aaron would
Yeah,
run across the street to hug him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had them ritual. That's the baptismal thing over there. He had a ritual. He'd always kiss the babies after baptized. That was his own special ritual.
He was a nice man.
Yeah, his own special ritual.
Was your mother as nice as your daddy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That worked out
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
well. She was a pace.
No, she was a fisher.
She was a,
She was a fisher. Her grandmother was a pace.
okay.
Grandmother was part of David Pace. David Pace.
Right, I knew that. So she was a fisher.
She was a fisher. She married, when Mary Luna Victoria Pace married Mark Fisher down in Gownsville. He came up here from Gownsville Township. His daddy went off the Civil War. His name was Henry Fisher. He was with 16 South Carolina.
And he came back.
And he came back and he says he's about 4 years old. He saw this man walking and said, that must be my daddy. He died about it. He walked all the way from Columbus, Ohio. He got as far as the Cherokee Nation. They helped, risked him back to help. And then when he got up to here, when he got to here, he died about 1866. He lived about 9 months after he came back. But he had to walk all the way from Columbus, Ohio. They told him, well, then that Columbus, South Carolina's that way. Now, this really was part of the Columbus mission when they first formed the church, because the thing was done as Columbus mission. And the Grace Chapel was the oldest church in Polk County. And they had one called Manus Chapel, and then Bethlehem. And then when they put the railroad back up through here, they added Columbus and Tryon onto it. They called it Columbus Mission.
Okay. All right. Well, technically, I'm supposed to be asking you about the black community, including Phoebe Sullivan. What do you know? And while I asked you about,
I remember Lula. I don't remember Phoebe. Phoebe died before we came back here.
okay, so you remember Lula?
Yeah, I remember Lula. She lived in that house right up on the hill where that tin roof is. On the corner up there, you're going down the hollow down there, where the house up on the hill up there. That's where
Right
Lula-
behind.
Where the old school, or the old church, or whatever it was, up that church down there, whatever it was down that school, whatever it was down in Sullivan's Hollow. The house right up on the hill, you're going back, start back up. She lived in that house right there.
Okay, well that would be Phoebe's house.
Yeah, Lula.
Yeah,
Well,
Lula.
Phoebe probably lived there too, but Lula lived there when we come back here.
Lived in the big house.
Yeah.
And you're the one that told me about Dr. Goulet.
Yeah.
And
Now, the first masons, the first installation also was done in this building. Done right here in this. First
Dr.
installation in the lodge. The lodge. They installed all the first offices in this room.
okay, within the Methodist Church.
Yeah. They used the church. I guess they didn't have a building at that time. They had, I think, they made on top of City Hall there eventually, but at that time they didn't have a place to install the offices. They installed it in here in 1897. That's when they chartered Saluda Lodge.
The Saluda
Because
Lodge.
offices, we did it in 1997. We did a reenactment of the offices being installed in this sanctuary.
All right. But Dr. Goulet was from Charleston and his brother was from New York?
Yeah. I think he's born in Alabama.
Dr. Goulet?
The first master, he Buckingham was the doctor's from New York, I think. The other one, I think he's from Alabama.
The other guy
Oh, the other one's born in Missouri. He's born in Sedalia, Missouri.
Okay.
The other,
And they had slaves, didn't they?
well, probably not. Well, when it was after the Civil War, he lost everything he had. That's why they couldn't get along with each other. Because the other still was rich. He got rich off the war.
Which one got rich?
The doctor. The doctor.
The brother was born in,
They were cousins. They're actually cousins.
all right, and then the brother lost everything.
Yeah, the
But
brother lost.
somebody brought Will Moore with them.
Huh?
The old black man that owned all of this land came with one of them.
I don't know anything about that now.
Okay,
I don't know anything about him, but
okay. So, what do you remember? You were here in the 50s,
60s.
in the
60s,
60s.
yeah.
And there was nobody here, no black people here except Lula.
No, they had Jeter Gamble and Kenneth Gamble.
Okay, you began.
Kenneth James did help mow the grass for the Baptist Church. I
Kenneth
remember that.
did?
Kenneth did, yeah.
Okay. And he lived,
He lived down in Sullivan's Hall. All of them lived down in Sullivan's Hall there. Everybody around there lived down in Sullivan's Hall. Tim Thompson, everybody lived down there. Used to be a
well,
bunch
who
of
was Tim Thompson's mother?
I don't know. I can't tell you the truth. I don't know anything. I don't really know who his parents were. But he lived in one of those houses going up toward Greenville on Chestnut Street. That's where all of them lived. Everybody lived down in that hollow down in there.
Yeah.
And they had their own school down there with that, I guess with that place you renovating. I think they used that for the school.
The temple.
Well, not Sullivan's Temple, but that other one, down in Sullivan's Hollow, the other place down there, where the kudzu, down on Chester Street. You know where the darn Camp, the Great Garen's got his trailer park.
Right.
That place right in there.
Yeah, where that new house is?
Yeah, I guess.
No, he's talking about Tannerville.
You're talking
The
about,
school was in
It's
Tannerville.
where that church, that building, that was where the school was. They
Right.
used that for the school.
yeah, that was in Tannerville. Actually, we call it Tannerville, even though I think the Sullivans own 90%.
They probably did.
Because there was,
Well, everybody from Greenville come up here on the herbs.
okay, but see, was Lula doing that too?
I don't know whether Lula's doing it or not.
How would they be coming up here?
Now, they come out of Greenville. They heard all about it. They come up here from Greenville. Everybody come from Greenville everywhere.
To see people.
Yeah, on medicine, herbs, and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And you called it Sullivan's
Sullivan's
Hollow?
Hollow, that's what they call it, Sullivan's Hollow. After Lula Sullivan, Phoebe Sullivan.
Right.
Then after them, it's called Sullivan's Hollow.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that it helped Saluda. Oh, were there white people and black people coming from Greenville?
I think it's mostly black people come up with
Mostly
Greenville,
black.
I think. I think it's mostly black people, I think.
And do you know what Lula did?
I'm not sure what she did, to tell you the truth. They probably lived together, I guess, probably.
I think I would love to know. I've forgotten who Tim Thompson's.
I don't remember who Tim Thompson's parents were.
But they lived up by the dog park.
About in there somewhere, about halfway up.
Right, and there are 2 houses in
Yeah,
there.
there's about 3 houses up along that. We had about 3 houses down in there. I remember walking down in there one time, walked up back into that Judge Peak up there.
Right.
You go back through Judge Peak back up in there. I remember walking back there. I remember Saluda Sullivan was on the porch, sitting on the porch up there, and I walked through there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm thinking.
Saluda probably died maybe 66 or somewhere around in there when she died.
In the 60s?
I think so.
Yeah, because
She might have been the 70s, but I don't know. I don't remember how
I
long
don't know
she
when
lived.
she died either.
Somewhere around that area at that time.
But I do know that there were houses.
Yeah, there were houses down in there.
There was houses, if you're coming from the Saluda Inn, walking down, there were houses on the left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when you got to Their houses on the
Yeah,
right.
their house, that one right, as you start back up, you know, at the bottom right, you start back up that house out on the right.
Yeah, that one's Lula.
That was Lula's house.
It's confusing because nothing's
It's kind of, I think it's kind of got a green roof or something on it, doesn't it? Tin roof or something.
Well, now it's covered with kudzu, it's all green.
Yeah, that was it, that was their house.
Right, right. Do you remember anything about, they used to have celebrations for the community? Was that all over by the time you got here?
What's that?
They used to have Phoebe had a birthday party.
That's probably over with before we got back here.
So you got back here in
63.
63.
That's when they had the first Coon Dog Day.
Oh, yeah?
The first Coon Dog Day was in 1963. George Johnson, the one at Blue Ridge Coon Club.
Yeah.
They served chicken dinner to stock coons.
What?
To
They had
buy-
chicken dinner, and they use the money from the chicken dinner to stock coons.
Oh, okay.
That's what
okay.
that's really they started Coon Dog Day. So they stocked the coons down in.
So you were already through.
They actually used a live coon in that thing.
Oh, I know, I loved it.
They had that one kind of, I would have stuck my hand in there with that. Them
No,
dogs,
but that was one well-fed coon.
Yeah, he knew what he didn't bother him. He knew what was going on. He knew there wasn't nothing going to happen. He'd sit there and dogs didn't know what was going on, but he did.
Now the coon's smarter than the dog.
They put him in a cage there. They rattled that cage, put him up there.
Well,
They
they
didn't
had,
have to run that cage right in front of the dog.
and the thing is, they fed him for a week beforehand, so he was like, oh, this is heaven.
Yeah,
I don't have to do anything but sit in this cage for a week.
yeah, put him in a
Okay.
cage there. Somebody's pet. I don't know whose pet it was.
Now, I think
Somebody turned into a pet. Somebody's pet. They put it in the cage when it was Coon Dog Day. And I don't know whose pet it was.
I don't know either.
Somebody's pet.
But the animal rights people are the ones.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Now, Ganwell Jeter and Ella Jeter,
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. And then there was Mary, and another black lady that lived in Tannerville, Mary.
They had one of them moved up there to Washington D.C. She left here and went up to Washington D.C.
That's one of Phoebe's.
Yeah, one of hers.
Yeah.
And I've seen her back here a few times, but she lives up in Washington D.C. as far as I know. I guess she's still up there. I don't know.
Well, there is one that's near Washington D.C.
Yeah, there's one up there that's one. I guess it's one of hers.
Well, she had several.
Yeah.
That would be Sylvia Wilson. I guess.
Maxine Wilkerson was.
Hmm?
Maxine Wilkerson is probably here a pretty good while. She's from the early ones.
But I don't think she's a child. She's an adopted daughter.
Maxine Wilkerson. Yeah.
She's not a birth
Yeah.
daughter. And I'm not sure that Maxine didn't come with Lula.
I don't really have. I don't know anything
I
about
think
that.
Maxine knew Phoebe, but only briefly.
And apparently, I think there's only two. As far as I know, there's only two black people living. One of them goes to this church. Viola.
Viola, yeah, but she's not from here.
She came in from Aruba or something down there off of South America. Was that Aruba or something down?
Yeah, somewhere.
She came up from down there.
Uh-huh.
You know she plays harmonica.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she played the harmonica. We had church. We had our thing, Christmas thing today.
Oh, yeah, good.
Before we got through, she had to get up and play 2 songs on the harmonica.
Good. So, yeah, we've got Maxine, but you don't know anything much about the community before Lula.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, now the store, but H.L. Kepps. Yeah, I think he might have been a member up here. H.L. Kepps might have been a member up here. Seemed like he was. He had a son named Leighton Kepps. Leighton Kepps left. He had that, that Green Creek Green down in Green River Cove School. Had a school down in there. He taught down in there. He was talking about going down in the Green River Cove, said this guy was chopping wood, missed the axe, split his foot right down through there. And he says he runs up there too, says let that most forlorn look on his face. Well, my brand new shoes. Said he went to thread and needle, didn't wash it out of anything, took a thread and needle, sewed his foot back up. Didn't
Well,
wash it out of nothing. Said just went in thread and needle, sewed his foot back
That
up.
was Caps did that?
I don't know who the guy was. He didn't know who he was. Said he's out there chopping wood.
Well, he probably was fine.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what's in, depends on what kind of tree it was. If it was a black walnut, he probably wasn't doing too well.
I don't want to do.
So Marcus, tell us what year, since you came here in '63, what was downtown like? And
It's about like it is now, except that one, the little grade or whatever, that Bristows or whatever.
Yeah.
That wasn't there. There was another building there. They tore it down.
Oh, yeah?
They made fuss about it, and the trees started growing and thing. And finally, they tore it down, and they fussed because they was going to put another building up there. But he made at least he didn't make it look like the rest of the town.
Well, isn't
He
it?
did the same architecture they had for the rest of town was, but
That's
it's not an original building. It's built in 1990s, so that's not on historical.
That's the one that's 3 stories, isn't it?
Yeah, they didn't want, the original wasn't even 3 stories. They didn't want a 3-story in here.
I
They
know.
made it 3-story, and they had a big fuss about it.
Yeah.
And trees grew up inside there till they finally get settled.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember getting settled all that.
Well, yeah. 'Cause you, yeah. I remember that.
so you were in the military,
Mm-hmm.
so you graduated high school and then,
Spruce Pine.
Oh,
it's
you're a
really-
Spruce Pine.
Yeah, Daddy, that's before we come back here. That's when, I guess Cassie's still here, part of the time he's in Spruce Pine. Cassie's still here.
So you were here before you came back?
Well, we used to come back here all the time. We'd come back for Christmas, stuff like that. Grandmother, used to be an old where the house is now, used to be an old Victorian house
Oh,
there.
that's because your grandmother's here. Now, I couldn't figure that out.
And then my Uncle Dorn's foot went through the floor, termites. So I decided we're tearing that thing down. That's when they built the house
So
right down.
your uncle was named Dorn?
Yeah, Dorn Fisher. Dorn Johnson named after him.
Oh.
He worked for he worked telegrapher down here at the railroad station.
Dorn Fisher was?
Yeah. And Beatty Hall had second shift, and Dan Pace was on third shift.
Oh, all right.
so what do you remember about the railroad or the
Well,
train?
they had a stay there. They put a switch, put an 11 switch down and work. You push. I remember he let me do it. You push a button, turn the knob, push it, and when the train was getting ready to hit the circuit, it hit the bell down there, and that means hitting the railroad circuit. And that's where you're supposed to push it. Tell me, told you, push the button, turn the knob, push another button, turn another knob, push another button, turn the knob. And that switched all the switches. They could do it from the railroad station up here.
To take the safety track off?
Yeah, they did switch the tracks where the train could go. You'd take out, would change all the switches. So the
So
train
where was
could-
that office?
Right down the depot. They had it
Oh,
right
at the
down the
depot.
depot. They eventually put it up there at Ashburn. But he could switch it from in there in the depot.
Before the depot was moved to
Yeah,
where?
before the depot was moved. And they'd hit the bell, hit the circuit, you hit the bell, see the light come on, you know the train's coming in the circuit. And you got off, if you got tuxedo, got out of the circuit.
Wasn't there a big inn just below the depot or across from the depot somewhere?
I don't know whether it was or not.
There's a picture in the light.
It could have been.
There was a big inn.
Now that one where across the Baptist church, that was the end back that burnt down in the 30s. I think the guy burned it down because of the money back during the Depression. I think he's the one that burnt the end down. So to get the
Oh,
money.
the one that was-
Yeah, they have the insurance.
Oh,
Whoever had the thing burned it down so you get the insurance out of it.
oh, man.
So that used to be where that cut sale houses are now. That was the end, right? You actually see the steps. You go across the Baptist, you actually see the steps went up there to it, there's another
Yeah.
step, another flight of step back where, what Peter, whatever,
Peter,
Eisenbrand, where he lives up the steps, he's up there to his house. There's
what
another
was the
step.
name of that inn? You don't
I
know?
don't remember what the name of it was. I remember it burnt down, he burned it down during the Depression back in the 30s. But there was an inn there, and a little kudzu patch grew up in there. J.C. Thompson wanted to develop, and everybody fussed about it.
Yeah, I remember the man killing the Tuttle.
You heard Clark Thompson, you've heard about Clark Thompson buying the post office?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he did buy it?
That's what I've heard. I heard they're gonna move the post office out to Ozone.
Oh, God.
That's what I've heard. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I don't know whether they're gonna do that or not. I think that's a stupid idea, but
It is a stupid idea.
maybe Clark Thompson run them out of there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on
It
there.
kind of ruins the downtown when you take the,
Yeah,
the
they want to
harbor
put the post office, that J.C. Thompson, post office used to be where the next building, next to the wards is. That's where the original post office was.
where Heartwood is,
No, the other side.
the meat market.
Yeah, past that next building down there. It's built about 1916 or 17.
Uh-huh.
That's where the post office was when we first come back here. When we come back, that's when they put the post office down there in 1960s.
Okay.
They put that in the bank. Buster Ross is about the one that's on the county commissioner, city commissioner. He was the
Bob
third
Ross.
banker.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah, he took.
So J.C. Thompson's daughter,
She wanted both to show the building to him. I think, apparently, what I understand.
okay, that's makes sense.
His daughter. I guess his daughter sold the post office out to him. And I don't know he's trying to push the post office out of there or what. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, no.
So what did you do in the military? What branch were you in?
Army.
And were you in
Huh?
you weren't in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. We were down in the Fourth Corps, down in the Delta. We were the first Cobra Cup in Vietnam.
So that was,
67, going on 67.
Oh,
Doc
God, that was
Doc
the
Toe's
worst.
still going on. We got over it. We had to go over on a ship. We had to go, we went the Hurricane Carla, Typhoon Carla 3 days out of the Philippines. Had to go around, get around the typhoon. Had to go across the international date line down below the equator, get out of the worst of the typhoon.
that was in Vietnam.
Yeah, I was that 3 days out of the Philippines. We hadn't got to the Philippines yet.
So what year was that?
67.
67. That was,
I can't tell you what category it was, or anything like that. But I remember that ship coming, you see that going right like that, you know, it's gonna come out, water come right up on top of it. We stand on the upper deck, and that ship would raise up about like that. You know, when the flood, it was gonna flash up on top where we were. You had to stand up on the top of the deck. You couldn't stand on the sides. You had to be on the very top of the ship.
yeah, you would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst time in Vietnam. It seems
Yeah,
like 60.
yeah, 68, 67. Yeah, January 29th is when all that broke out. That's just about like the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah. No, we were the hippies protesting.
Yeah.
Well, it was wrong.
You know, well, the way it come out there, of course they should have gone. They should have jumped. I don't know why Johnson wouldn't bomb High Harbor. They should have bombed it way back to 64.
I wonder why.
I don't know. He didn't want to do it. I don't know. A lot of people seem to think his wife had the airlines that owned the airlines that did the. I think maybe he didn't want to end the war. I don't know.
Well, I do know that
Because a lot of people thought that. I don't know whether it's true or not. But
a lot of people who knew him said he was very crooked.
he wanted to keep the war going. He wouldn't.
It's good for the economy.
Yeah. His wife's finances, since she owned the airlines company. They claim she owned the airline. Lucy owned the airlines that flew the troops over Vietnam.
Uh-huh.
So what did you do when you got back from Vietnam?
Went back to college, glutton for punishment.
Where did you go?
College completely changed when I first left, 64. When I got up 66, I left the college team completely changed. I went back to Greensboro, it's completely changed. And he wore stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I told like, nobody ever said anything to me. They knew I was over there, but nobody said anything to me. But
So you went to,
went back to school on a GI Bill.
that's the best thing.
Yeah. I went back to Greensboro. I was Bellhaven when I left. Then Bellhaven didn't take me back in, so I went to Greensboro.
Bellhaven.
That's down in Jackson.
And
You know where Millsap is?
I know where Bellhaven is.
They're right close together there. Millsap's right down in the middle of Jackson there. The city of Jackson.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
So what'd you study in college?
History.
Oh.
I bet you were good at that.
Yeah.
You got a good
Yeah.
mind for
Yeah,
history.
you got a good memory. I can't remember anything.
So what'd you do after college?
Went work for the Bulletin.
For the Trial Daily Bulletin?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They still had the old hot type when I first went in there.
Oh, yeah?
They still had the old letterpress. You had to pick old forms up and carry them.
I'll be darned.
And then about a couple of years later, the thing broke, the letterpress broke, so we had to go to offset. Because there wasn't as much to worry about. Didn't have had the lead type that did. You had to clean that blanket off on the offset press. They had a sheet fed press. You had to go in there. Yeah, anything over 8 pages had to insert. So they got where they had 32 pages. That's a long day.
Oh, yeah.
You know how many people got in the book now? You know how many we had? 6. 6 people read that newspaper, and they got all these people, and they still can't do what they.
They can't spell, I do know that.
Yeah.
They can't spell.
They got all these people. We ran out on 6 people. And there's the old man, the founder, his
Mr.
son,
Vine.
his wife, and then him and his wife, and then Charles Barnett. And that's who worked in the Bulletin at that time.
Charles Barnett.
Charles Barnett. He lived down. I think he lived down to Landrum now. But
Okay, I don't know.
he ran the linotype. That's where the hot type, he'd sweep the metal down in the sheet back in there and remelt it and all it for the picks. They put the picks on, put them on the chain up there, and the picks would go down in there, and they melt the lead, they'd sweep it back down in there and remelt it again. And they had to use cassette boxes for the advertisements.
Where was the operation? Where was the?
It's right there where it is right now.
Right down there in
In
downtown.
the same place, yeah.
How did you get down there?
I just, they were looking for somebody to come down, so I said I'd take it, I'd go down there, and I got the job.
Well, you took the train? No, the
No,
train
I
wasn't.
had a car at that time.
Oh, I had a car.
Yeah, I had 2 cars. Well, I actually had 2 cars, but
Can't drive but one at a time.
yeah, I'd drive one sometime. I wouldn't keep having that much gas. I learned to get down in 15 minutes. So I'd be kind of sleepy. I'd get in there and I'd just look down as far as I could see. And if I could see any cars, I'd just go on the other side of the line. I'd like go down the curve. I'd see look as far as I could see. And what happened? Them trucks get behind you. When I started moving on, them trucks coming down through that mountain. I wasn't about to get run over those things.
No, I remember that before I.
You know, them trucks, you hear, then you better move out. They're having trouble holding back.
Get the heck out of the get out of my way.
You see, all the trucks had to go through there. Everything had to go through
Yeah, I remember
there.
that.
Dad shut off at Landrum. He had to get off at Landrum.
Right.
And then eventually he ran up to Columbus. And then 76 when he ran it back up through here. And that's when Dick Williams got his truck stop.
Where did Dick Williams live before that?
You know that house that's probably down on Howard Gap.
Okay.
Go down to Osceola. That house up on the left there. It's a different house what he had. Somebody else, doctor lives there.
On that
You know
slope?
where the cow pasture is, Doc?
Yeah.
You know where that house up on the left there? Just before you get to Macedonia, where go back into Old Macedonia, the dirt road goes back into Old Macedonia. Here's Higher Gap,
Yeah.
this road goes to Macedonia, comes right in there to it. It's just up on this side of it.
The big white house where the ponies
It's a
are.
great big house, yeah. That's where he lived.
What was his name?
Dick Williams, he
Dick
did
Williams.
World Clothing and all that stuff.
Huh. Yeah, I have to think about that one.
And H.L. Caps is one, that Ward's down here where MA was.
Right,
And H.L. Caps one had first owner, is down here where Ward's is.
Caps.
H.L. Henry Layton Caps is his real name.
That's the same one.
That had
There
his
was a
LD,
teacher.
what LD I was talking about, that's his son.
Oh,
And he went up to New York, he was back during the pressure, said them guys still jumping out the windows with pressure.
Right.
Something, his wife, some guy offered him a job, said, I don't want no job. He took the job, he got a job, don't want anybody to get him a job. He said, these guys still jumping out the windows, the day after Black Tuesday, whatever it was, said, them guys still jumping out the windows.
So Caps and Ward.
His name was Henry, his name was LD Caps.
I thought LD's, who's the father? LD?
H.L. Caps the father,
Okay.
and LD Caps is his son.
The one,
He's the one taught down here at Green River School for a
right,
while.
I got that one. Yeah, because I like having the names.
And I.D. Morris is in there with QC Sonner, and the other was Grill is. There was two stores there. QC Sonner had one, and Caps had the other one.
Sonner,
QC Sonner.
QC.
And he was in there with I.D. Morris. I think they partnered together or something.
Where did Sonner live?
I can't tell you. I don't know exactly where he lived.
Okay.
Can you remember, what's some event that you remember happening in Saluda?
I remember when Pace shot up the town.
Oh, yeah, I want to know.
Austin
that.
Pace.
Which what?
Austin Pace.
Oh, yeah.
They were shooting back and forth here. You know, George Johnson preached at the Baptist Church. He couldn't hear very good. He preached about 12 o'clock. No wonder he's a horse. He's had his horses all the time. No, he preached about 12 o'clock, 12:30 in the afternoon. No wonder he's a horse. He come running down through there. They had the post office. I told you where the post office was. They shooting back and forth. He turned the corner. They quit shooting. He went in the post office, got his mail, got the car, drove out. Ran back around the corner, they started doing shooting again.
So who was shooting?
Austin Pace.
Austin, the cars went all them were shooting back, and the sheriff, all them shooting back and forth across the town. He was up there where the railroad track is, about where that thing is, that bell thing. He was over on that, he's on this side, and he was on the other side.
He was just nuts, right?
Yeah.
And there was,
No, I keep thinking, Lee Perrin's the only one that could get away with anything aggravating. Lee Perrin's kind of crazy anyway. He always rocks you got a girlfriend, Austin? Why not, Austin?
Lee Perrin.
Lee Perrin.
I don't remember.
He worked out at the Buck County Shelter Workshop. He used to be a member. He'd sit there and rock all the time.
Lee Perrin. So what did he do for a living?
He's kind of off. He worked out. They put him down at Buck County Shelter Workshop. They paid him about $5 a day.
Well, yeah, Austin Pace was around when I was here.
Yeah. I mean, he's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah, but wasn't he on?
He lived down. We lived down where the old down watershed. That's when before they had the watershed there.
Yeah, but why didn't he shoot up people after that? Did they put him on drugs?
Well, what they did, they stole his distributor cap on his car. That's what set the whole thing off. They still sold the distributor cap. That's what set the whole thing off. And off his truck, they couldn't move his truck. So
Who did that?
the police, who was up there,
Well,
whoever was up here, took his distributor cap off, and that's what started the whole thing off.
but then he didn't go to jail, did he?
Not on that, I don't think. He eventually went up there to Craigie. They said they wouldn't watch what he wanted, so he just kept going there and kick the television screen out. Said if he go watch what he wanted, they weren't going to watch anything.
Seemed like, I thought he lived out at,
He lived out in the,
Fort Creek.
well, he lived there for a while too, but he used to live when he first, back in the old days, back in the moonshining days, he, down there.
Down the waterfront.
That's where all the moonshiners were. And that
Well, now
Chester Springs was down there.
Whose?
Chester Springs.
Okay.
There's a town down in there. You turn back up going back to the watershed, turn back up the right to the clear, kind of, what had been trees, that was Chester Springs. And I think they were, I think they, when all these moonshiners off, they put the watershed in there. So they want to get rid of the moonshiners.
Was there any moonshine in Saluda?
Yeah, old through Gaza used to run moonshine through you. They said they had the, Morris had the street blocked off down here. He come up there, the guy with us, said, they got the street blocked, what are they gonna do? Said, they don't have the sidewalk blocked. He went up the sidewalk, ran Morris up the pine tree up here, Bertha Taylor ran up that pine tree and just kept on going. He just went up, they didn't have all them benches they got now. He just went up through the sidewalk, kept on going.
That's Morris Goggle?
Yeah, Morris, his name was Morris, certainly. He was a policeman.
Well, I believe some of your relatives were moonshiners down there, and David, what I heard was down there on,
I don't know anything about what they did, I don't.
it would have been down on.
They had great grand corn meal down through there.
Well, that's
They had corn meal down in there, I knew that.
down there on the property that you gave.
Yeah, that down where where the bridge is right there,
Right.
where they had a shack in there, and that's what the corn meal place was. Used to be a shack right there. And they had the wheels, had big old wheels about this big around.
What are the wheels?
One of them, the wheels turned the corn meal.
Right.
The water, they'd run the water, run the wheels. One of them was a half, I think one of them was a half, had a band around it.
Right.
One of them was a half part, had half of one, half another.
Right.
The other was a bigger one, the full one. And they got them out of France or something.
I'll be darned.
That's-
And you know-
They used that to ground the corn meal.
And then that went to whoever was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were tearing down the David Pace house.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Well, one of those houses up there burned up there next to, the hill, going up Chisholm Street. You know, up above where y'all live, up on the house burnt down. I think Christmas time or something, there was a house up there that burnt down.
But I just remember the insulation was corn cobs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Doing, and the old Pace house,
yeah,
that was what they insulated with, and I
Yeah.
guess they had plenty of corn cobs.
yeah. Well, what's his name? Beatrice lived up on that.
Yeah.
Remember Beatrice?
Yeah.
She lived up where that's where Uncle Toad lived.
Oh, is that
That's one of grandmother's brothers.
Okay.
There was nine of them all together.
And Beat was one of them.
She was the daughter of one of his children. She was the daughter of Toad.
Okay.
She was Toad's daughter.
Toad.
And Joe's one lived up there at Tracy Gray Road. He lived to be over 100 years old.
Yeah, I'll look that one. I've got that Pace history.
And then Van was another one.
Yeah, I don't know.
And John and John. They had one named John and one named John. There was nine of them. There's three girls. I think it was a Betty, it was Zany, that was married Maroney Hall. That's Beatty Hall's mother.
Okay.
They lived, you know where the Vernbergs? They lived where the Vernbergs are.
So, okay, this is interesting, because your house was, Vernberg was a Pace.
No, I don't know what Vernberg was, I don't know.
No, but that house.
Yeah, that was.
So
that
did
was,
the Paces-
that was Zany, that's Maroney Hall's house.
So
Maroney Hall
Paces
come up here
owned,
from Columbia, South Carolina, to the railroad.
did Paces own everything on the left, on the west side?
I think when Burl Pope come in here, he owned everything in here. And him or Frank Thompson won.
I think Chuck's gonna make you move. Oh, no.
Okay.
So
They come from.
Yeah.
Paces Pace family sold to the Ogdens, didn't they?
Probably, yeah, they probably owned all that in there.
So that means they own all of it,
Well, my
including your house.
grandmother got the piece of property we got right now.
Right.
Well, I guess David still, see, David's buried out there at Mountain Page.
Old or new?
The new.
The new Mountain Page.
And the Cornelius and Burrell's both buried out at the old Mountain Page. You've been to their cemeteries. You
Right.
got there, their cemeteries, you see their graves out there.
Cornelius and,
Cornelius and, see, Cornelius was David's daddy. Burrell Pope was, Cornelius was David's grandfather.
well, okay.
Well, David would be my great-grandfather.
Okay. But that means where the Presbyterian manse, Gaffney,
Yeah,
all of that was Pace land.
probably was. I think everything in there probably. Yeah, I think they own the whole thing. They come up, them and Frank Thompson, the first settlers in here.
Well, I believe they got it from
The Metcalfs, some of the mothers come, Morgan, some of them come in right after, pretty soon after they did.
But Cornelius, or the one that came in 1817, I believe
He was born in 1830. See, David's born in 1838. When Cornelius was. I think it's up there somewhere up there.
didn't they get the land for fighting in the War of 1812?
Now, I'm not sure there's anything to that.
Well, I do know that,
There's done no record of him ever fighting for the Revolution that I know of.
not the Revolution, 1812,
Well, I don't know, maybe, I don't know about 1812, I don't know about.
because that's how the Holberts got their land.
Okay, possible.
The Holberts and the Garretts and the Arledges, that was all, and the fact that this deed was, your great-grandfather came in 1817, sounds like it was the same land
Yeah,
grant type
Yeah.
thing, which makes sense to me.
well, I guess you knew Francis Asbury used to come through here.
Who?
Francis Asbury,
Who's that?
the old Methodist circuit rider.
No.
Yeah, he's pays right through here. See, they've got some Paul Hard, Bishop in Columbia, South Carolina. He's got all his old journals. That's how we know that. He mentions Pace's Gap in his journals. That's how we know he come through here. He'd go down through I guess he'd go by as far as Lake Junaluska and then come back down, follow the Packet River down into Charleston there. So he probably come right through where the gap is out there, probably pass right through that gap. Saluda Gap, that's where the Pace's Gap, they called it Pace's Gap at that time.
Well, then the Paces owned all of it. Because the Paces owned all the way to substation,
Yeah,
all the way, all of that, Stephenson, all of that onto the other side of 170, on I-26 was Paces. I never realized they owned it all.
yeah. Them and Frank Thompson, you know, the Frank Thompson cabin right to where the school, where the playground is.
Right.
That was Frank Thompson's cabin.
Well, he probably had the south side of town.
Huh? Yeah, he probably had the other side. I guess Thompson had one, whatever Pace didn't own, Thompson owned.
Huh. I just never put all that together.
That's when they had the boom. That's when they had the boom in the 1920s. And that's when all these stores went up.
Yeah, right, and that's when the,
Well, now I think, well, the city hall is probably 1905, and I think that building next where what's that coffee place is on the side of the street, I think that's probably the oldest building in town. That's what I think.
Pebble Dust.
Yeah, that's probably the oldest building, because it looks like it's old, it looks like even old.
I don't know how long that's been there. That's fascinating. I never even thought about this. Everything here was probably
Yeah, at
a
that time,
land,
yeah.
a deed. Where did the Paces come from?
Well, there was Richard Pace, he was one of the original settlers at Jamestown.
Okay.
So him and his son, and then I think his grandson moved down to Burdett County, whatever it is.
Burke County.
Burdett.
Burdett.
B-E-R-T-I-E, Burdett County.
Oh,
That's down the east part of the state. They think that's where the lost colony ended up at too.
Oh, that'd be real down, Birdie County, okay.
That's right close to Albemarle Sound down in there.
I know where that is.
So apparently it must have been a possibility the lost colony could have gone there, apparently they knew somebody was down at Burdett County before was it Jamestown?
Well,
Apparently knew somebody was living down there at that time.
Yeah, and that's why the Indians have all the Indians in that neighborhood, that area have English names.
Yeah.
That was,
They think some of the old Lumpies probably the old Croatans,
right, right.
or descended from the old Croatans.
That's where we went to school.
Yeah.
Carolyn and I went to school down there.
Was that
Laurinburg.
Laurinburg? Yeah.
Lumberton, I went to,
St. Andrews?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
we've been there.
So Marcus,
Well, they had the Lumpies around Greensboro there when I was going to college. They had the Lumpies around Greensboro there too. They were all back in there too.
No, I went to Pembroke for real estate school
Yeah,
back in the old days.
yeah.
tell us about the gas stations in downtown.
This was the Gulf Station.
There you go, Jason. That was,
Gordon's in there Gordon was in there first, and they went out. They had that Gulf Station. Frank Gordon,
and then it was,
Ed Gordon didn't rent it for a while.
That's where the whistle stop is now, right?
No, that's where this down here, where the clock talk building that thing down there.
Oh,
and
And
then,
between the library and the city hall,
okay.
that was the Gulf Station.
and then who was the next one?
J. Raymond Stephenson built the Exo down there. It was Esso at that time. And that, where the whistle stop was the original, was his first gas station.
And that was an Esso.
That's Esso, yeah.
Yeah,
He
Gordon,
was on the Polk County legislature. He was in North Carolina legislature representing Polk County. That's what every county had representation on the. So he was Polk County's representative of the legislature.
oh, and you know,
I remember where they pulled the tanks, the little small tanks. There wasn't one about this big around. They dug him old. They still had them old tanks down when they get ready to close that thing down. They had to dig all them tanks up
the one, this
down
one.
in the Esso, down in where this Esso, that whistle stopped.
Which gas station was the one where across from the Green River Barbecue?
Oh, that's Phillips 66.
Okay. I think those tanks are still there.
Huh?
I think those tanks,
Probably are. Now that's when all that sewage got down on the Depot Springs.
who did that?
People started serving that. They let the sewage get in there from the station there. The sewage got in on the water. They had to condemn it. That was. We used to drink water out
I
of it.
know, you can say it's still good, it's good water now.
Yeah, probably. It's
It is.
probably clean, probably enough you drink it, but
And nobody owns that lot now.
no.
No, it's,
But at that time, they had to close it down.
When was that?
That was supposed to be the second pure spring in the world. The one in Switzerland was supposed to be purer than it was.
that's very interesting. What,
That was the second, they claimed that was the second pure spring in the world.
And
Was
what-
down at the depot. You still see the water down in
oh yeah, and it's growing the watercress.
there. Yeah,
You can't grow watercress on bad water.
yeah.
Okay, so that was a Phillips 60, so it was sewage.
Yeah, they dumped the sewage down in on that, land water got down on that, in that pump, that stream, that spring in there.
Okay.
So
He's
that's why
talking
they had
about
to
the
close it
spring that
down.
we want to claim.
why
I
they-
thought it was the gas tanks that condemned it.
I think I heard the sewage got in there. They let sewage, they let sewage, whatever, they fixed the sewage or whatever it was.
Yeah, we have to figure out how to do that, because that was Taste Land.
Well, that's when all the people started coming in.
549.
Yeah.
And then,
They stayed that way till, well, in 1970, they had 570.
right. Because of the Depression and all that.
And that thing just quit growing.
Right,
No more buildings are built, nothing. That's why it's historical now. All these buildings have been there since the Great Depression. Just
Right,
like,
and that's
when
when-
Franklin Roosevelt, if he come in there in 1930s, he'd see pretty much what he's seeing today.
right. I think.
Except for that Bristow's. Bristow's or Bistro, whatever it is. I can't pronounce it. Bistro.
You ain't French, is you?
No. Anyway, it wasn't that, but there was another, where that is, that was where the drugstore was.
The bistro was where the duck, well,
And
it was.
the building that was in there was a drugstore at that time.
So when that Snaggy Hollow, the new movie theater was next to it.
Yeah. And then they shot all that movies up here, remember that?
Well,
Tell Moonshiners.
that's right, I've never seen
And
that.
that, and that cold storage, they shot that around here too.
I've never seen that one.
That came in after, so they buried that cabin down there at the Harmon Field, that cabin, that's where they're supposed to bury the body, down in that cabin. Just going in where Harmon Field was.
Right,
With that cabin in the corner.
right, right.
That's where they're supposed to bury the body in the movie.
Right, is it there? Did you dig them up?
Anyway, in the movie, they're supposed to be buried the body or something.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the moonshine, and who was,
That was Enos Dixie Hazard.
right.
He was in it.
Well, see, that's too long ago, I can't remember.
He was the one making the movie.
Right, them
I
dudes.
think it's probably something for television or something. I don't think it's actually. I think it's supposed to be for television or something. But
It's for fun is what it is.
yeah.
All right,
Did you
And
know,
then they built abandoned building up. That's where they had. Remember, put the cage at the jail cells. They put jail cells in there. They just left the jail cells when they moved. All the people moved out. They left the jail bars in there.
I remember stuff like that. I remember them being there on the.
Yeah,
The post office was-
found somebody went in there, took all these bars out of there.
Yeah, I can remember that.
But that's where the jail was. That's where his jail was. Kid Justice in jail. Kid Justice spent the whole movie in jail.
Oh, God. I don't think I want to go to jail.
That people sitting in the jail there. He's one of those sitting in jail there. The movie.
so when the interstate opened, what happened? I mean, people stopped coming through like they,
Yeah, they quit coming through here then.
and that,
That's when Dick Williams saw the lights. He decided he'd go up there. That's when he sold it to Ray Reid.
Oh, Ray Reid.
You know, he made his bundle out of it. So
Yeah, he did.
he made his bundle out, so he just sold it off to Ray Reid.
Dick Williams, was he at Thompson? The rest of the Thompsons owned all that stuff.
He was probably related to Andrew Williams, the guy that's policeman was killed here. He's probably related to Andrew Williams. Remember,
How did
you see
that-
the plaque down on where Veterans Park is, above there? Remember of Andrew Williams? That's the guy that shot, policeman shot. Breslak took his place. Breslak come over from Orangeburg in '76.
Breslak?
Yeah, he's a member of this church.
Well, yeah, but was he a sheriff?
He was on the Orangeburg Police Department.
So what'd he do here?
He's police chief.
Oh, I
He
got-
took Andrew's place.
who shot Andrews?
Fred Constance.
Why did he do it?
He come up the door and he shot him through the screen door. And
He didn't, I mean, did he know he was the police?
yeah. Apparently something he didn't want to go down. He's ready to go downtown. I don't know exactly what I've heard different stories.
There may have been some alcohol involved.
Could be, I don't know. But
So Andrew Williams?
I think he was ready to go downtown, but Andrew Williams wanted to take him in, and that's when he shot him.
Okay.
That's what I understand now.
Yeah, and Fred Constance.
Fred Constance one lived in that house. Sat right back the middle of that that blue house. That's where he was shot at.
Where's that blue house?
Down
It's not blue.
where the pottery is.
Yeah. The
That's
Potter.
right in there. That's where he shot at. Right in there.
Well, that's Moonshine Park.
Well,
Well, he lived at Fred Constance lived. I think he lived in that house at that time.
I didn't even know there was a house there. I thought Jack Morse built that house.
He may have. I don't know. But anyway, that's where.
But there was a house
There
there.
was a house there. That's
Well,
where
that
he was shot out there on those zones where he was shot at.
Well, what year was that?
That was 76.
'Cause that was, yeah,
You just
'cause
walked
Johnny
up to-
Constance lives, our kids went to school with Constance kids.
Lewis Constance one lived up on
Hill,
he lived right next to the lodge there.
right. And
That's
that-
Lewis Constance
And
there.
Johnny Constance is his son,
Yeah, what lives there now.
yeah.
Yeah, he had one, I can't think of the daughter's name.
Yeah.
Janie Hyder. She married a Hyder.
God bless
She's
him.
one of his daughters.
Yeah, I knew about that, but I didn't know Breslak was the police chief, I didn't know.
Yeah, he was police chief to,
Huh,
I guess old Hirschberger took his place, I think.
okay, then that,
I think Ron Hirschberger.
Well,
He's the one trying to catch somebody at night, went out there, where that big hole is at the truck stop, drove the police car down that hole. Right dark, cut the lights off, went right down that hole, that big old hole he got out there at the truck stop, he went right square in that hole. He had to pay for the police car.
well, if Fred Constance lived down there where the pottery is, that makes sense, because we call that Moonshine Park, because you've heard about in the 20s, they had the gun shop, there was still there.
Yeah,
Because there's
well, it
that,
could be anything back in those days. Could be anything.
because that's where, there's a good spring there.
Yeah,
You don't see it anymore,
Yeah.
but there is a good spring. And it would make sense that that would be the area.
yeah, that's where, I think it's in that house where it was.
And it is interesting because that's a separate, if you look at the property lines,
Yeah,
that house is, yeah, different from everybody else's. So that's why the line's the way it is.
yeah.
I had no idea that they would been up.
They finally got the water straightened out. The water was so dirty out the lodge, couldn't even drink it. They had to put a new tap in.
Why?
The water's so dirty, just filthy stuff.
Now?
Yeah, they put the water in, said I wouldn't drink that water. The water's so
So-
dirty.
You mean from city water?
Not at the lodge, well, they spent the city water. They went out there to test it, they found, I think they put a new tap in out there.
Is that why they complained that you see, she owns the lot across the street from the lodge,
Yeah.
on the corner.
Well, the water just would never clear up, just be dirty as everything.
Huh,
Well, we wouldn't even drink it. We wouldn't use it for cooking or nothing. I think they went out there and tested the other day. I think they would put a new tap in, maybe put a new line out there or something. I don't know what they want to do with it.
well, they're into water lines, aren't they? Yeah, so,
Well, we might draw this, unless you
Yeah.
have other questions, Betsy.
no, I could get into this forever. Just of Johnny Constance, Fred Constance, I never knew about, I never knew his
Bill
name.
Pace lived out there up on out of Columbia. You know that big house back in the back? That's where Bill Pace lived. They had the construction.
Right,
Bill Pace. That's where he lived, right back up there on the, he had Johnny and, what was the other one's name? What was the other one's name?
I don't know.
Johnny was one of them, and I can't think of the other one's name. right
So
now.
he was on Columbia?
Yeah, where that house it goes way back in the back out there. Not the first house, but you're going up the hill out. I used to get past the Pearson house. The big house, you seen that house go way back in the back there?
Yeah,
That's where he lived.
okay.
He had construction. Billy and Johnny was his boys.
Huh, construction.
I think they took over construction after he died or something.
I wonder if that's the one, that, what's your name related to?
Lucy Holman? Something.
No, Cindy Tuttle. She's a Pace. Everybody's a Pace.
Yeah,
Well, Cindy does want to ask you some more questions at some point. She couldn't come today, but I'm sure she'll want to get you on film too.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
like I said, this is like I say, this, you see this building where the old church is?
Right.
You see it?
What?
Where the old church, Methodist Church, was 1990 building?
right,